All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started. This is Carrie Scout calling from the Traverse City office. We are covering some of our brand tools today. We will be talking about my CBDesk, which is a landing page, much like Schmidt Resources, but the version from the brand. And then we'll talk about ListTrac, and then we'll talk about Prospect Square. So there's only two of you here today, so I don't anticipate too many questions, so we should get through this before the hour is up. But if you do have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box or go ahead and unmute and let me know. So this is my CBDesk, which is, like I said, available to us from the brand. This is a brand product, so much like schmidtresources.com, it is a landing page on where to get to other tools. You get your access through this. When you first join the company, you should have received an email with a password reset, but if not, reach out to your ASC or your RSC, and they can do a password reset to get you in. You should also be able to get to it through the single sign-on opportunity that we have with Moxie Hub. So if you log into Moxie and go to the hub and click on desk, it should auto-log you in. So if you have any access issues at all whatsoever, don't hesitate to reach out to your ASC or RSC and we can get you in there. So there's a lot of customization that you can do on this site. When you first log in, you'll see exactly what I see, and it is your dashboard, your landing page. So you can see there's menu options over here to the left, and there's menu options up here in the upper right corner. When you click on your headshot, this information in your My Profile does feed over from our internal systems. So if your headshot's wrong or if your contact information is wrong, please reach out to your ASC. We can update that for you on our side, and then it will feed through. Also, sticking with the menu item from the headshot, I want to point out settings, because you are receiving probably daily CBDesk updates, and we all know we get a ton of email. So when you click on your headshot and go to settings, you can come right here to notifications, and you can change those CB briefs to be daily, weekly, or off. If you do shut it off, you do have an opportunity to log in to be able to see the same content. Daily seems like a bit much, so I have mine set to weekly. So once a week I get the CB briefs email from the brand with brand information. So that is how you can change those notifications. You can also come in here and add additional links. So when you're up here on your heart, you can see favorites. You can add more favorites. You can see I've added Moxie to mine, our local MLS. I have a link to CBC Worldwide, which is the commercial website. So you can add other links onto here since it is like a landing page, a resource center. So you can make that customized to the other links that you may want to be able to get to. If at any time you get lost and you're not sure how to get back to that dashboard, if you click in the upper left where it says desk, or right here where it says desk, it launches you right back into that landing page. Also on here, these are able to be dropped and dragged. So if you have one that's way down here and you have to scroll to get to, you can go ahead and click on it and drag it up wherever you want to have it be seen. You also have the opportunity to get to more tiles by clicking Show All, and then all of the tile opportunities that you have will show up. If there's one that you think you should have access to and you don't see, you can click Add App, and there may be additional ones here that you can then add to your landing page. All of the apps on here, all of the tiles are color coded. So you can kind of see this one's kind of gold, this one's blue, there should be a green one right there. And if you click on filter, you'll see how those align up. That grayish, dark gray color is education, the lighter green is finance, the gold is marketing, the gray is open ecosystem where you can link through to other platforms, and then this blue one is productivity. So if you're looking for just those items that deal with marketing and you click on filter, if you uncheck those, only the marketing ones will come up. So that's how you can filter your view. You can also click in here to find apps. So say that you took a training with JD and he was talking about BrandServe and you want to find BrandServe. When you start typing that, it will come up on your screen so that you can find it without having to scroll around. Now, if you do some commercial properties, there is a CBC BrandServe, which is Coldwell Banker Commercial, as opposed to our standard residential and global luxury BrandServe, which is this first one here. There's also a sort feature up here. So when you are in the filter view here, and you're putting in keywords, this is only searching apps. It's only going to pull up these tiles, these apps. If you search up here, it's going to search all of CBDesk. So you'll find help articles, you'll find FAQs, you'll find feature updates, you'll find a lot of other content that isn't found when you're filtering on your apps, on your tiles. So that is another place to search. If you want to know more about listing presentations, you can type in listing presentations, and the information that is housed here in Desk shows up on there. So 2 different search features, and that's the difference, because when you come over here, you can see you can drop that down. You can search for just apps if you choose to, but it does default to everything so that it will search everything that CBDesk has per the topic that you type in. You can get rid of these apps. Say that you never want to deal with Zap. You can just click the X and that does go away. You can always bring it back if you choose to, because if you click Show All and Add Apps, it will show up right there, so you can always add it back. Over to the left, like we mentioned, there is another subset of menu items, just like there was over here. So when you click on the first one is CB brand, this is where you could go to get the CB briefs if you do choose to shut off the notifications so that you're not getting the emails. The CB briefs are found here underneath CB brand. So it does give you all of that great content that comes to you in email right now. So again, you can make it come daily, weekly, or you can shut it off completely and come in here to view it. And again, that's under CB brand right there. Under company, you'll see there's policies and procedures and reports. Now there may or may not be any information on here, just depending on, on the reports, there may not be any reports for you there. Internally, we use our transaction plan portal in order to allow you guys to do reporting on your own production along with your local MLS. Marketing is a good one because we have the opportunity to get into the advertising, what the national campaign is doing, some of this content here. Branding along the same ways. It's about the year in review, and of course our brand new Project North Star that we have going. If you're in the global luxury and you're looking for global luxury content, it talks about how you can get certified. The global luxury lookup tool is here as well. And if you are certified, this is where you can go to Proxio to update your global luxury website here. So again, a lot of content under marketing. There's prospecting here, which does give you listing presentations, but all of these are already loaded for you in our Moxie Present tool. So you can come here and pull them down if you choose to, but those are also found in Moxie Present. Under social media, there's some best practices, there's guidelines, there's templates, which again, we know we have those on Schmidt Resources as well, but BrandServe does have a bunch more for you as well. And then there's some media guides. So if you're just starting out and you want to get going on social media, obviously you can always reach out to JD in the marketing group, but there are some great how-tos here as well on CBDesk under marketing and then social media. If you go into My Business and buyers and sellers, same presentations are here. Again, they are loaded into Moxie Present as well. When you go on education, anything that's coming up virtually, or if there's a Gen Blue coming up or other conferences, all of that content's going to be here. The brand is doing a really great growth series right now, so you can check that out here, as well as anything that they have with their monthly calls for this month at Product, which is when they release new technologies or marketing or what that might be to support you in your business. And there's a link through to the CE shop as well. So if you do want to go into the education, you can click here for the recordings, or if you come up to the top and search for CB University, it will link you through to the app, which is also a tile on the dashboard, and this does open a separate portal. You don't have to log into it. It will automatically log you in. But there's a lot of additional training in here. A lot of it is self-paced or virtual. There's very few live courses at this time, but we are trying to build back into some more live trainings. But if you come in here and go to Learning Library, there's a lot of great content that you can sit and listen to at your own time. Maybe you're sitting floor and waiting for that phone call to come in, so you can come in here and learn about anything that is available here on CB University. So a lot of great content there. Back to the main CBDesk portal. The last option over here on the left is Business Advantage, and this is important to know, especially if you're newer to the brand, is we do have certain discounts available to us as being members of Coldwell Banker. So if you click on a Business Advantage, you can open up the Coldwell Banker Business Advantage programs, and then you can see on all of these portals, including AT&T if you have a cell phone, Avis if you need to rent a car, Budget if you need to rent a car, discounts on hotels, lots of different options for discounts. So again, that's under Business Advantage, and if you are curious about saving some money with these companies, this is where you can come in here to see what the opportunities are. A lot of them are for you yourselves as agents, but some of them are for clients. So like pods, you could let your client have that discount, and different items like that. So you can come into Desk, go to Business Advantage, and check those discounts out. And again, if you get lost and you're not sure where to click, you can always go back to the word desk and it takes you right back here to your platform. Along with the add app that we showed you when we went to show all, that's also right here at the top. So you can add any additional apps that you want to. Keep in mind, if you want to add a link to a website that's not part of the Coldwell Banker Desk portal, you can come up to here to My Favorites, and you can add any links that you want to right here. You can add a new favorite, or if there's one on there that you simply don't use anymore and you want to get rid of, you can click Manage Favorites, and then you can delete those right here if you choose to. This is also where you can drop and drag these to reorder them so they look like you want them to look when you click on the drop-down menu. Anytime there's a new news article that's brand new information, it's a big announcement, you'll see this bell right here will have a little red dot on it, and that means that there is an announcement for you that you haven't read yet. So when you log in and you see red there, that is what that means. That is some sort of notification or announcement that is the brand wanting you to read it. So that is CBDesk. Do you guys have any questions for me on that? Okay, great. All right, we'll move on to our next platform, which is ListTrac. So again, if you're down here in filters, you can type in ListTrac. It'll come up for you and you can click on it here. And it was that goldish color, so that means it is a marketing tool. And once that loads, so your dashboard's going to look a little bit different than mine because mine is tracking all of the listings, I believe, in my Michigan portal, in the Michigan portal. So your dashboard is going to be your listings so that you can see where they're being viewed online. So what ListTrac does is it will syndicate your listings from our in-house proprietary system over to the syndication partners that ListTrac has. And then it will track things like views, inquiries. That's when a consumer will actually send in a question on that property or request a showing. It gives you the visitors, it maps it out in some really nice charts. It's a heat map, so that shows you where the views are coming from for your listings, and you can see since I'm in Michigan, they're all coming right around Michigan. It'll tell you if a client or consumer has saved that listing on any of these sites. If you have more than one listing, if you have like 3-4 listings, it does rank them on performance of views, and then it will give you if those listings have been shared to from a consumer to another consumer. And then of course on the brokerage site here I have the top agent views, which you guys won't have. This one's kind of neat. This is the price range. This is how many views in those price ranges and how popular those are. So the number one here is 100 to 200, second is 200 to 300, 0 to 100 is right here. So you can see this is tracking all of those views. Or if you want to toggle to leads, these are the leads coming in mostly on the 0 to 100, and then second is 100 to 200. So that pie chart's just kind of neat to track what the market is doing and what people are both viewing and inquiring on. When you come over here to the left and go to listings, any listing that you have, once you put it in the MLS, it starts syndicating out to a bunch of different places. One of the places it syndicates is right here to ListTrac. So if you would like to set up an email communication for your sellers, this is where you can do that. Again, we started in Desk, we typed in ListTrac, we ended up on our dashboard first, so we wanted to go to listings. So your listings should show up here. If for some reason you have a listing and they're not feel free to reach out. There's probably just one little setup that we have to tweak to make that work. And then you have a couple options. You can view the online analytics, you can schedule the delivery of the seller report, or you can view the seller report right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and view one so you'll see what they look like. And I did not pick a good one, so let me go back and get a different one. Here we go. So this is what it looks like. It's always going to be branded to your DBA. It'll have the information about the listing. It'll show how many views. So this is not a good one because there's only one. And then the consumer will have a chance to click on and view more status. And then it does also give you similar listings in the market so that your seller knows how they compare to other similar properties that are on the market. Let me see if I can grab a better one. Okay, here we go. So that's how you just view it. If you want to set one up and schedule it, you can click right here on the green button. And this will allow you to put in the seller's name, their email address. Maybe you want to carbon copy somebody else. Maybe you want to blind carbon copy somebody. Your reply email address will come over. You can CC yourself as well, because what last thing you want to do is get a phone call from the seller saying, hey, that was a great report, and you have no idea what they're talking about. But if you carbon copy yourself, you'll get that same information that they get, so that way you'll have it right in your inbox if they do give you a call, or it could be a good reminder for you to reach out and call them when you get that. The body of the email is just stock text, but it can be customized and updated. You can also choose to not include the metrics from competing brokers if you don't want to. If you do want them to see what's going on in the market, you simply leave that toggle to on. And then you have delivery options. You can do off, you can send it to your seller weekly, you can send it bi-weekly, you can send it monthly, and as you're doing this, you can send it immediately. Now, if you're sending it immediately, there's probably not a lot of views yet because it does take time to syndicate out. So you can choose to send it weekly, not check that, and then click submit so that in another week, once the property has had a chance to collect more views, it will then get sent to your seller at that time. The other option, and we went backwards here, we started with viewing it, then we clicked here, but you can also view online analytics. And when you get to here, you have the opportunity to do the other two things. You can view the report here, you can send the report here, or you can view it here. So a lot of times we just have people log right into this platform because they can get to anywhere else that they want to. You can also, if you do choose to use similar houses that are on the market, you can choose to refine that criteria by clicking here. So you can use default settings, you can auto select if there's certain competition listings out there that you want them to see. You can do manual selection of listings, you can do a combo of those, or you can simply choose not to include similar listings, which would be the same as marketing it on that other screen that we saw. So again, this is all the information that does get sent out, and that's interesting. A lot of views on this one came from Chicago. So it has all of this content that will go to your seller. And again, to preview that, if you click here, that blurb of an email that you can customize if you choose to will go here. Again, it gives you the information about the house, talks about the views. If they click view more stats, it will launch them into a new screen that has a lot more of that granular data that looks just like the platform that you have access to. But of course, they can't make any changes to this. It's simply the information for them to view. So that is ListTrac. Once the property goes under contract and closes, you don't have to come back in here and get rid of that email automatic report. It does automatically just stop sending once that property is sold. It will still send during pending, but it will not send anymore after it's been marked as sold. Any questions on ListTrac? Okay, great. Well, one more platform to talk about today is Prospect Square. So again, we're going to go, oh, that's Zoom. We're going to go back to our CBDesk. We're going to go back to our filter. We're going to get rid of when we were finding ListTrac, and we're going to type in Prospect. If you spell it right, it typically helps. Prospect Square. So right here it is. Just like ListTrac, this does open another tab. It is a secondary platform. If you've not been in here before, obviously your dashboard, your reporting will be zeros, and that's okay. There's nothing to report if you haven't used the system. So you can see this is very similarly built as CBDesk is. There's menu items here. If you click on your headshot, there's your profile here. At a later date, if you want to dig in further to this product, you can always take the product tour, which can be a nice way to learn more about the product hands-on, as it will walk you through how to set up some of the stuff. Over here to the left is your menu, your contacts, reports, groups, which is like a contact group, analytics that will track the open rate of the product coming out of Prospect Square, which we'll get into here in a second. You can market your property with property emails, and you can go to the marketing center, which will be an additional platform, just like Moxie Engage allows you to set up drip campaigns. You can also do that from Prospect Square. So in your contacts, unfortunately, these do not sync with Moxie at this time. You do have to import them, but you can import them from your Gmail. So if you do have your contacts in your Gmail, it will allow you to import them into Prospect Square, but it does not sync or talk to Moxie Engage at this time. So you can go to Import Export, and you can import your contacts, confirm that you're there, and then you have these options. So along with Gmail, you can do it from Outlook as well, or if you have them in Excel or CSV. So that's how you can get your contacts into here. You can also add them manually one at a time if you choose to. So that is in the contacts. Similarly, groups, which personally I don't know why they don't have it as right up underneath contacts, because they go hand in hand. So once you have your contacts in, if you want to do a group for past sellers, maybe past buyers, maybe it's some association you're a part of, so you want to do it that way, maybe it's your church group, whatever it might be, you can put them into groups so that when you go to send some of these reports, some of these contacts, or the drip campaigns, you can just choose that group and not have to individually choose people to send it to. So that's what the groups is for. Reports are where the meat of the Prospect Square product are found, and that's our area report, our market report, and our quarterly report. This platform is fed automatically from your MLS. So any of the content in your MLS, your listings, your solds, your pendings, your withdrawns or expireds, all of that comes over here into Prospect Square. So this data isn't just nebulous data that tries to guess what is going on in the market like Zillow tends to sometimes. This is actual MLS data that's being put in by you and your fellow realtors so that it is accurate data. So the first one is area report. So if you bring on a new buyer, they're thinking that they maybe want to live somewhere, they're really not sure, they want more information, this can be a great product just to start sending them information, because one of the best services we can do for our clients is be that source of information, and Prospect Square will do that for you. So if you've done one of these before, they do stay on your landing page right here, so you can always go back to edit or delete or to send to somebody else. If you want to create a new area report, you click on New. You can give it a name, which could be the area. So let's just say Elk Rapids, that's here in Michigan. You have to add the contact that you want to send it to. But again, if it's a brand new contact, maybe you met them at the open house, maybe you met them at a grocery store, maybe you met them at the car wash, you can click New Contact and you can fill out the information and add them there. If you already have the contact or your group in here, you select that, you can choose their name, click OK, and then it's now going to go to that contact. Now you want to choose those market areas. And again, just like the listings and the solds come over from the MLS, your market areas come over from the MLS. So you can do a search by typing in the name. And then it may, depending on how the MLS reports the data, there may be more than one option. So we're going to select both just to make sure that we get all that market data. So now you can see that those areas are here. You can copy yourself on the report if you would like to. If you want to disable the report so that you don't delete the report, but that it does not go out to your clients, you can click No. And that to me is a very nebulous option because you wouldn't be creating this if you didn't want it to go out. You can update the subject line if you want to, but it does autofill. It will be area report from you to your client. If you want to preview it before you send, you click Preview. It does take a little bit because there's a lot of content. Sometimes it renders quickly, sometimes it takes a while. So this is the product that will get sent to that consumer. You can see it gives a real estate snapshot, single family, number of sales, new listings, average days on market, median sales price, average sales price, median list price, average list price. It gives all of this data about listings and sold and median sold price. You can just see there's just a lot of content. Is it up from last year? Is it down from last year? Month over month, year over year. It tells you on a chart, you know, sold properties versus new properties, median sales price. You can see there's just a ton of content in here, all area specific to Elk Rapids, which is the area that I chose. So you can see it's just a lot of content. You can see it's also formatted that you can print this if you choose to. It will print on 8.5 by 11 in vertical. So that is the full area report. So you can see there's just a lot of data, a lot of granular data that you can send to your seller. There we go. I'm not going to send it. I get enough email. I need to send myself emails. But then at that time, it will come down to here. So maybe you send it to somebody and they call back and they're like, wow, that's fantastic. I know somebody that would just love to see this. Can I give you their email? You can say yes. You can come in here and edit it without having to recreate it and send it to a new person. Similarly to the area report is the market report. This you can get way more granular. So maybe they're not new on the market. Maybe they came to you 6 months ago. Maybe they've gotten pre-approved. Maybe they know exactly what school district they want to be. They know exactly where they want to live. You can come in here to the market report. Always give it a name. And then you can put in this granular data. So I clicked on edit. If you're the member of more than one MLS, that will change based on your drop down here. So you can toggle back and forth. If not, then just your main MLS will come over. So you can do a radius by an address. I'll just use mine just to save time. You can change how far out from that address you want it to mark. You can do active, days back. Maybe you just want brand new listings to show to them. You can do sold or not do sold. If you uncheck it, sold information will not be there. Same with off market. You can choose to not show expired or withdrawn. You can choose to not show pending. You can put in price ranges if you choose to, your school location, property info, including year built, beds, bath, square foot, all that wonderful granular data, and click OK. It's going to put in your criteria there. Just like on area report, you do have to choose your contact to which you are going to send it, but you can add it real time right here on this. You'll want to give it a display title. I'm just going to do the name of my subdivision. And then you can choose how frequently you want this to go out. If they're super hyper serious about buying a house, you may want it to go out every day. Seems a little overkill to me. 7 days is the default, but you have all of these options. You can choose quarterly, but there is also a quarterly report that I'll show you here in a moment. So let's just say that we want to do this 90 days. In case I forget to go in and delete it, I don't want to continue to email myself. Are you sending it for a buyer? Are you sending it for a seller? Are you sending it for a prospect? Or are you sending it for an investor? The end product will look a little differently based on what you choose there. You can also choose to give it an expiration date so that if you do set this up, you can stop it after a certain time. You can also change the subject line just like you could on the area report, and you can also put in a little blurb here so that they get that when they get the report. So just like on area report, you can click review. Give that a moment to get all that amazing data over from the MLS. Again, I forgot to mention the first time, but it is always going to be branded to you. It's going to have your headshot, your contact info, and your correct DBA. So this gives you the market snapshot. It's for sale data, sold data, maps it out real nice, puts it into charts, gives you those great graphs, days on market, actual properties that are for sale, actual properties that have sold, and then it goes through the local inventory. So just like sending out something from your local MLS, you can use Prospect Square to send it to them, because not only is it giving them the listings, but it's also giving them this great market snapshot data that's being done for you by the system. So that is what is called the market report. So again, area report's a little bit broader, right? You can choose a city, you can choose a county, Depending on how your MLS demarcates areas, it's a little bit broader. Market report, you really can get very granular. If you click Save and Send, that's when it's going to show up here. Again, you can always go back to edit. You can delete it. Maybe it's just a straight up testing one, just like what this one is for me. If you come here, it's going to preview it for you again. So maybe you created it last week and you're not real sure what content's going out. You can always preview it there. And then you can also send it. Again, you can send it immediately. So maybe you have it set up to go out every 14 days, but they give you a call and they're like, hey, I want that same email, but with new information. You can go in here and click the email button and it'll automatically send it out to them. Again, if they're like, well, hey, that was great, but instead of doing this price range, I'm really curious about this price range, you can go back in on the Edit tab. Wait for that to render. Go back into your criteria, and you can change that at that time. Oops, scroll too far. You can put in that listing price if you choose to. So again, it's really nice that you can always go back in and edit without having to recreate the wheel. You can also, like I said, delete it, which I'm going to, so I don't continuously email myself. And then confirm you do. And then that's market report. So the third option is the quarterly report. This too is a set it and forget it option. So this is just like it sounds. It's going to go out every quarter, every 3 months. So again, when you click on new, you can give it the name. Put in your contact that you want to receive this. And again, you can have multiple. You can have multiple quarterly reports set up, multiple market reports, and multiple area reports. Along with that, you can send the same report to multiple people. This also runs off market area. So when you click browse, I'm just going to pick that county. And then again, you can copy yourself if you want to. You can change the email subject line. And then when you click preview, this is going to talk about the county in which you chose, and it's going to give you a lot of that same content that the area report gave you. You can see it looks very similar, but again, this automatically goes out every quarter. So this is great information. If you had a buyer on a house and as soon as they close, you could come in here and set them up so they can keep an eye on their neighborhood. Because you want to keep that buyer as a seller in the future, right? So you can come in here, set this up one time, and then every quarter they're going to receive this information, and again, clearly branded to you as the agent. So it's a great drip campaign with actual content. It's not holiday cards and all that is great to stay in front of your sphere of influence, but this data is what they will read. They'll retain it. They'll send it on to others that they want to share that content with, and it's just a really great marketing tool. The last part of Prospect Square is the, I'm sorry, there's 2 more parts. Property emails, which I mentioned you can send out emails on your listings. So I'm just going to see if I can pull one up quickly. Nothing listed. Let's see. Well, let me see if I can't just grab a listing. Oh, you know what? So you can search for listings, but I'm going to hop over to my office listings just to save us some time. So because I am logged in as an admin, I have all of the listings that will be coming through here. But again, you would have your own listings, and you do have the opportunity to market your fellow realtors' listings. I would just recommend that you ask them first. Ask for their permission. A lot of times they would love you to because they're looking for a buyer, but you do have that opportunity. Once you find the property that you want to market, if you click on that, you click create email. So toggle the radius button, click create emails. And then you have these options, version 1, 2, 3, if you are a co-lister on it, 3 versions of that as well, if you're advertising a virtual open house, and then also your global luxuries. So the CBs are your blue residential brand, and your GL is your black global luxury brand. So you have all of these opportunities in which to create these emails. So if you click the one you want and click generate, it is going to pull in the listings and such over from our feed. It's going to pull in the data that you put in the information, and it will always be branded to you. You can click edit and continue. This is where you'd put in the subject line of your email. Again, you want to add your contacts here. Oops. I clicked refresh instead of OK. And then you can send it over as a test to more than one person if you choose to. It's going to show you what that email looks like. If you're not happy with it at this point, you can go into edit. You have all this opportunity. You can change text. You can bold things. You can link through to other sites. So maybe you want to link through to the listing site on your Moxie site or whatever it might be. You can add in any links to what you want, and then you can also put in additional tables here. So if you want to add extra content to the content that comes over automatically, you do have that option. And of course, you want to make sure you update that custom header. And then click OK. And then preview. And this is what it's going to look like when you email it out to your people. Again, always branded to you. So that can be a quick way to email out listings to your database, your sphere of influence. Now the last part of Prospect Square is the Marketing Center. So as I mentioned, this operates a lot like Moxie Engage does, and it does allow you to send one-time emails, as you can see here, or you can set them up on campaigns. So if you go to campaign library, these are all the campaigns that are set up by the brand. It tells you how many emails are in there, and if you want to know more, you click on the plus sign. I'm sorry, the plus sign does not give you more. The plus sign will add it to your campaigns. If you want to see which emails are in there, you click on the emails. So these are the 4 emails that are part of this particular drip campaign. You can always preview them by clicking here. Again, always branded to you. And then that will let you know if that's a campaign that you do want to choose to do. If it is, then you add the plus sign. You add it to your campaign. You can say how far, if you want to base it on a calendar, you can do that. It defaults to interval base, which is 7 days, 14 days, whatever it might be. And then once you add it to your campaign, you come into My Campaigns, and that's where you would find it. It'll tell you how many people are that you're sending it to, and if any have unsubscribed. You can always go back in and edit it by going into the cog and going to Settings, and you can activate it by turning that on. Toggle off and then toggle on if you choose to. It also will track views by going into statistics. So it'll, how many emails have you sent? How many have been opened? How many were clicked through? Did they unsubscribe? Did they bounce back? Did they fail? Whatever that content may be. You can always go to New Campaign here as well and set one up from scratch. But to pull one in from the campaign library, you find the one that you want and then click the Add button. You can also use this for one-time emails. Content's hard, right? It's hard to think of what to send to stay in front of your sphere of influence. So you can come into here to find some of that content. Again, same thing, just like in the campaigns. If you click on the eyeball, it'll show you what it looks like. It's always going to track the traffic, and just your traffic. It's not tracking your office mates' emails sent or anything like that. It's just the data that's coming across from your sphere of influence. And again, the cog is settings. So you can send right now, you can share it with a link, or you can copy it. So if you click send now, you can automatically put in email contacts, an email address, or if you go to your contacts, you can pull in a single contact, or this is where the groups come into play as well. If you click copy, it's going to give you a copy. You can copy it to a campaign. So if you're starting a campaign from scratch, you can do that. Or if you copy to a one-time email, because you don't want to change the original. So this is the original, this is the copy. You can then go in and edit that copy. So if there's part of the email you really like, but you don't like something about the verbiage, you can copy it to keep the original, click edit, and then you can come in here and get rid of parts or pieces, change things like borders and paddings and backgrounds and such. And then you can also change the text. So a lot of opportunity to customize this content. Beautiful graphics, as you can see. Some of them are cute. Merry Christmas, that's right around the corner, believe it or not. But all of this content is in here for you. Again, in Prospect Square, under the Marketing Center. So that was a lot of content. So I'll recap quickly while I wait for any questions to come in. We started on CBDesk.com. Again, if you have any issues getting logged in, be sure to reach out to your ASE or RSC, and they will be able to get you in there. We talked about how you can get to the different apps, all the content over here, including Business Advantage for all your discounts. And then the second thing we talked about was ListTrac. So again, you can come over to the filter to find any of these things without having to hunt and peck on the dashboard. ListTrac is what syndicates all your listings, and that is where you can set up your seller report so that your seller knows how many views and how many inquiries their home is getting online. And then we ended it with Prospect Square, which again has those 3 reports: area report, market report, and quarterly report. They also have those property emails that you can use to market not only your own listings, but as permission comes in from your fellow realtors, you can advertise their listings. And then that marketing center is what is including in our campaigns and our one-time emails to market to your sphere of influence. I do see one question. Can we get these content in Spanish for our Spanish-speaking buyers and sellers? That's a really good question. I don't believe that the brand has it available yet, but I do believe it's on the roadmap. So I can get an update on that, Mariella, and I can get that information out because it's a very good ask. You're welcome. Good. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you guys for your time today. I truly appreciate it. If you have any questions after the fact, you can head to schmidtresources.com and you can find me in the directory, or your local ASC or RSC can help as well. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. Bye now. You're welcome. Bye. You're welcome.